what's up YouTube? This is Magical Merchant. I'm going to give you a deck profile of this, basically a Chaos Control deck that I'm trying to play this format because it's good against Rabbit and it's got some good answers against Windup and Insectors, so I just like it in the format a lot better than most other decks. So, got 3 Tour Guides, obviously just good card. You can use Leviair in the deck too for certain things. Chaos Sorcerer, basically you play these as your answers and your boss monsters to, you know, other people's cards. This is your defense. You don't play any traps. You just play the Gores and the Tragodias, and you basically just try and drop, like, you answer people's Zen mains with Chaos Sorcerer, and these are your boss monsters. You basically just plop this down on a turn, and you can do it really easily, so you can play 3 of them. You just plop it down, and they have to answer it, otherwise you just start gaining advantage through that card. Dark Armed helps you, like, just go off in turns when you can just, when you have 3 darks, or you can like remove for a Chaos Sorcerer, they do something to it, you just drop Dark Armed, and then you just completely blow them out, because that's basically like, I don't play MST either, because you have all these answers, they just, you know, you can Tour Guide, they negate that, you can drop like Sorcerer, Dark Armed, you know, all that in one turn, so it's pretty insane. Plus, you know, Tragodia is good with, like, you know, Dark Armed and stuff, tuners, like it's a 7-star, so you can use the effect failures in your deck to synchro for 8. Deck plays triple max C. Basically, it's really good in the deck with Tragodia. It's one of your defensive cards, so you play hand traps, so it's not like you're just not playing traps at all, but it basically makes your opponent's MSTs completely dead, so all the decks playing triple MST, you're just going to have 3 dead cards in their deck, just like when you're playing against, like, certain decks, like you're playing against Rabbit, you know, you have the 3 dead effect failures, pretty much.
Now you randomly don't have a 3rd effect failure too?
No. So, yeah. You definitely want to have 3 of each because you need this for Insectors and you need this for, like, Rabbit and Windup and whatnot. And this is good against Windup too. And then you play 3 Lightsworns because you play to recharge and to charge. It's basically good against the back row. This is good against Windup Rabbit. If they attack into it, you can blow it up. It's good against the Dino Logias and stuff like that. They can, like, catch on pretty fast and go into Dalka because you don't, like, play a lot of back row, but for first turn, if they Logia and you set that, you know, that's pretty good, so. And Lila's awesome when you can just drop it. If they warning it, or you get to pop a back row, or whatever they do to it, basically clears the way for, like, dropping a Sorcerer, then a Dark Armed, or something like that, and these cards help you mill, so. The 1D Alch's really good, obviously for Sorcerer plays and, like, Dark Armed and stuff like that, you know, that you can get, like, Leviair off of that, but you can, like, you remove so much all the time, so the 1 Alchemist, you can search it off of Sangan. It's just, like, you know, it helps you get back a lot of cards and stuff. If you have, like, Gores removed and they kill this, whatever, you have, like, kind of like a safety blanket with that card. Card Trooper, just random, it helps you mill, kills Thunder King, it's really good. Reaper's good against Rabbit, and Sungan helps you get, like, half these cards. If you have a recharge in hand, you can get a good Raikou to draw some more cards. If you don't open with one of these, you can get that. Tour Guide for power plays, which is good most of the time. That against Rabbit. Card Trooper for, like, random times if you have, like, 2 Tour Guides in hand or something like that. And then Alchemist if you want to, like, combo with any of the other monsters, so. And then for the spells, you just play 3 Upstarts. It helps you, you know, thin the deck out faster. You get to a lot more powerful cards faster, and you get to Solar Recharge and Charge a lot faster. Gold Sark, I'm not, like, completely happy with this card in the deck, but if you first turn Sark for, like, unless you're playing against, like, Rabbit or something, like, you know what you're playing against, and there's a specific card that's good against that, you can just automatically go get Luster Soldier, and then your opponent literally has a 2-turn clock, and then you can just straight up drop Luster Soldier, like, you don't even have to worry about anything, just because you play the 3 Sorcerers, you know, you, like, BLS is, like, obviously it's a better card than Sorcerer, but it's just a card that you can, like, kind of just, like, play, and if your opponent just randomly doesn't have an answer to it, they just can't do anything about it. And then I just don't have dualities, like, right now, so, but 2 dualities helps you search for cards like, you know, the Raikous or whatever if you have a Solar Recharge. Helps you get, like, a Chaos Sorcerer into your hand, and just helps kind of, like, filter some of the draws when you have, like, a lot of hand traps and, like, maybe a boss monster Sorcerer, and you need some sort of, like, conservative, you know, good first turn play, so. To recharge and a charge, basically it helps you draw with those other cards, helps you get a Lila if you want to, like, go off one turn, pop a back row, helps you get a Raikou, if you just need to, like, kill something randomly, and obviously put a lot of cards in the graveyard. Avarice is really good. You can kind of control your graveyard a little bit too, so you can, you know, set up, like, Dark Arm plays and stuff like that, so it's good. Heavy Storm, Reborn, Dark Hole, that's just I play that, even though it's kind of like a trap that it is an MST target. You can still like use it to your advantage if they effect fail or like Fiendish Chain one of your monsters and you like need to use it. So it's a good utility card. You can book their monsters and kill it. And one random lore, you have Dialk and like Leviair, so that can be good there with certain cards. So that's a deck. The extra deck's pretty standard. It's just, Leviathan, like Leviair, Zen mains, probably an Acid Golem. You can play Utopia because you have like Trigodia and Lila and like Dialk, but I'm not sure if I can like fit it in yet. And you play like standard synchros, like you have to play Arcanite because you play Chaos Sorcerer and Effect Veiler. So Black Rose, you have like a Scrap Dragon, Stardust, simple stuff like that. So the extra deck's not like too ridiculous. So, but this deck's basically really good against Rabbit because you can just drop all the Chaos monsters and they can't do a whole lot about it. You can make them waste their negations and then be in a better position than them. The Trigodias are really good against them because you have like a big hand size all the time and people just run in, with like a Thunder King into a Trigodia and then you just completely like you just blow them out. Like Fiendish Chain's good against this card, but like otherwise, Trigodia is just like really good in this deck. So I don't know. It's good against the format. Like if you open up with Effect Failure, you pretty much like don't have to worry about getting looped by windups or whatever. And Sector's kind of a harder matchup because if you don't have Effect Veiler and you like have to drop a Sorcerer, then they can kind of get you and set up different plays. But you do have a lot of like other plays that you can do that make in Sectors like blowing up your cards not incredibly good. So and you have other good cards to beat them. So that is a kind of like odd matchup. So I would say in Sectors is probably like the worst matchup actually for this deck, just because it's like if you don't have Effect Failure, you can just lose. But otherwise, it's pretty explosive. It beats Rabbit, and I don't know. I like this format because it's more consistent than most of the decks. So that's about it.
Alright, rate, comment, subscribe. Church is out.